Hi, Bizzy here. I'm here today to do a collective reading. This would be a timeless message, so when you hear this, it may or may not resonate with you. It's up to you to learn to discern energies so that you only allow in that which is best for your highest good. So I guess that's a great intention to start this reading with, is to find out from Spirit what messages am I going to relay here today to help the collective so that everyone can move towards what's best for their highest good as a group. I felt called to do a tarot reading today. It's been a while since I've done one. But when I was pulling cards for myself this morning, I was reminded that part of my journey is to demonstrate and relay information. So here goes. Picked up the first deck and there was one card left. Oh, set clear boundaries. This is a wonderful card. It says, empower yourself by setting limits, such as saying no to a request or socializing less. This kind of self-care creates more respectful, healthy relationships. Anyone that knows me, I'm all about boundaries, and it's because I had to learn along the way how to build them. Because at one point, I would just allow in anything, and I didn't realize how being the yes person and the people pleaser was actually negatively affecting me on a grand scale. So, set clear boundaries. This is also really important as you're on your spiritual journey to set boundaries in the spirit world. There was a time there when I was not recognizing that I needed to do that because I didn't know what was happening. Anyway, let's see where this takes us. I also had pulled the World card earlier, and that was before I started recording, and this was one of the signs for me to recognize my my need to share, because I use tarot as a modality for healing and wellness, and when I set the intention, I was using the cards. It really helps me find a focus for the day, or if I'm struggling to figure out an answer, it's another way that I connect to spirit. If I can't get outside into nature, I can do the cards. This one's saying, take a time out. There's a lot going on energetically with the world, and I believe today is a new moon, so it kind of makes sense that the busyness and the noise of the world affects everyone as a collective, and it's important that as a collective we recognize that things that are being asked of us and the momentum with which they're being asked of us isn't always in alignment with our spirit journey, even though the 3D world thinks that we can just go all the time. There are times when it's really important to take a time out and reset your batteries, because if you don't do that, you can't be your best self. So let's see, we're gonna go to the surrender deck and see what card comes up there. Ooh, what should the collective surrender to today, or whenever you're hearing this? The first card says, surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, and then offer a clear, non-defensive response. I chuckled when I saw this card, because much of my time spent focused on my spiritual journey, I've had to feel like I had to defend myself and who I am, especially in regards to setting boundaries. And I find that when I'm more accepting of the fact that some might respond negatively to me needing to set boundaries, that it isn't my responsibility to defend who I am to those people or situations, because being, how do I word this? When you're prompted into a conversation, any conversation, and that first feeling that you get where you want to like put your guard up, that's your fight response that naturally, happens. Anytime that you feel like your hole or your bubble or something like that is being attacked or invaded, or whatever it is, or someone's just not like respecting your basic boundary for whichever way that they're crossing the line. So I found in an effort to combat that, is to recognize those moments when you feel it come up and you feel tempted to get angry and display that. If you can work through that feeling by recognizing it and then quickly mind tricking yourself back into your higher vibration, you won't feel as defensive. I don't know how to, I'm really trying to word this in a way that makes sense, because energetically I can understand it in my brain, because I've brain hacked myself to do this. I guess it's all about the boundaries. It's kind of like anything that's outside of yourself, because it's a reflection. And if you're feeling like you need to defend what's being reflected back at you, it's just a matter of you need to accept what that is, and how do you receive the information in a positive way, to where whatever that is outside of yourself can't put you in that defensive stage if you rise above it and can see it from a bird's eye point of view, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like, oh, that was strange. Sometimes when I have something really important to say, my throat kind of like jams up. So this is a really important part. If you can manage to figure out how to be in yourself, in your present self, yet at the same time see things from above, from the bird's point of view, like if you can figure out a way to keep those two perspectives in front of you, it really helps. It really helps because we are multidimensional and everything. So I feel like a lot of people get stuck in their self, or they get stuck out there, which I have a lot of experience with that, teetering between the two. And it wasn't until as I was setting boundaries and learning how to do that for myself that I saw the connection of the two and was able to integrate that into how I view things and I guess see the world. And how, anyway, there's a tangent. This other card says, surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. And remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. We see all these things everywhere about just be you, be yourself. And no matter how many logos or slogans and things like that come into our reality, it's really hard sometimes to accept all the parts of yourself. And I feel like when I started to integrate and work on shadow healing, I learned to love my shadows. And it's been profound in my awakening and my leveling up of my frequency to embrace those and let them out in a conducive, positive way to express themselves. And I think a lot of my creativeness in my painting and my writing and my poetry and even this tarot that I'm doing for myself every day, usually, it's helping me integrate those parts that didn't have a place in my world before my spiritual awakening. So there's that. We're gonna go into the, I like this deck. This is a psychic deck. This one gives me a lot of courage. These cards. Let's see if there's any messages for the collective. Obstacles and challenges. So some tumultuous energies spinning around the earth right now are they're chaotic, yet everything serves a purpose. So any obstacles that you may find and challenges that you may find along the way, it's actually really good for you. This is one of those where instead of thinking, what is happening to me, you might hack yourself into saying, how is this happening for me? And what can I learn from this? Ooh, all right. Pulled a few cards. We have wisdom. And this card fell out with this card, so I think they kind of go together. Also have the heart chakra. If you can find a way to shift into your heart center, because you know your heart is your guide more than your brain. Your brain's really good for logistics. Your heart knows what your soul wants. And the more you tune into your heart, the more inner wisdom will reflect in your reality. And what's seeking you, well, how's that go? Wait, I said that wrong. What you're seeking is also seeking you. So if you're trying to integrate your spiritual journey into regular life, you will find that the universe will help you as long as you stay heart-centered. The other two cards that came out, these were flipped over, but they're also together in a pair. There's a theme going on here. Pairs. We have Choose Wisely and Memories of Love. There's so many decisions that we make in the world and in our lives based on our memories. And in our logical brain, it wants to tell us it's programmed. It's kind of like memory after memory after memory. Similar memories kind of like get grouped together in your brain, right? And when you have multiple experiences in your life and memories where the result of whatever happened, like after whatever the choice was, there was then this result. And if that happened on repetition, it kind of programs your brain to think that anytime this decision, this opportunity to make a decision presents itself, that the outcome will be what it was for all of the same similar kind of outcome as all of those previous similar situations where you had to make that kind of decision. So I think the message here is, and I've had to do this where I've had to take leaps of faith before, I've had to make a decision that was similar to past decisions with the faith that the outcome would be different this time, if that makes any sense. It's like sometimes, just because it's not causation, just because certain things happened a certain way before, doesn't mean that they have to happen that way moving forward, because we're always growing and we're always changing. And there's always an opportunity for a positive outcome in regards to memories of love. Choose wisely. You see the pair of birds there? It's symbolic for someone out there. I am at this point in this reading feeling a little tired. There's been a lot going on in my life, and I'm gonna pull one more card. I really like this deck because it takes me back to memories of being an energy frequency and not stuck in this body. Anyway, high heart chakra. This is a Lemurian deck, by the way. Well, if that isn't, here you go. Heart. Heart. As long as you follow your heart, you will get to where you need to go. There's even two birds in this card. I love birds. Wow. So setting that boundary around your heart and letting go of any outside influences is probably what's going to help you not feel so defensive about where you feel you're being guided by your heart. Just keep going with your heart. You're going to be all right. Anyone that overcomes past versions of themselves, they're already on the right track. You'll make the right decision. It will be all right. With that being said, let's do a little sound clearing here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Be love, be light, believe.